Hey, what's going on, my friend out there on internet land? Welcome to the video. I really appreciate you for coming by and checking out this really direct, informative, concept-oriented video. And you might be wondering, well, what do I mean by that? Simply put, we are talking about how to open up a restaurant with no experience, all right, how to open up a restaurant business. And I'm going to break this down because having over the last 3 years dealt with supplies, dealt with equipment, employees, all the things associated with the restaurant business, there's some things you got to keep in mind about the business model, all right, really, if you want to start one. Because I'll tell you, over the last 3 years, started a couple different types of businesses. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. Dealing with that stuff, it can be a massive headache, all right? And even if you have the budget set aside, all right, to invest into a restaurant with your own store, all right, your own facility, and then the operating costs to, run it on a monthly basis, even if you have the money set aside for that, which can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay, being very conservative here, depending on location, obviously, and size, but it can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're dealing with stoves, you're dealing with washing machines, you're dealing with, or I should say, dishwashing machines, you're dealing with freezers, fridges, dry storage areas for inventory, then supplies, equipment, employees, all that stuff and more, electricity, operating costs. It can add up to a lot, and a lot of people don't keep this in mind, having gotten around people who have started successful restaurant businesses and people who haven't. The big difference between them is a lot of people who I know who have done it, they were previously experienced in business. They were previously like investors in different types of businesses, and they're looking at this to create an income stream for themselves. And it's not to say that you have to do that and that's the only way, but I will tell you this: if you're looking at starting a restaurant business, all right, this is very key. All right, if you're looking at starting a restaurant business because you want to start a business to make money, I would advise you, if you don't have the budget set aside, and even if you do have the budget set aside, I would advise you, before you consider taking this approach, before you consider even starting a restaurant business with no experience, okay? If you hear me out here for 1 minute, if you're looking at starting a business to make money, the best thing you can learn how to do is learn how to decrease, okay, your overhead and your workload and increase your profit margins so you can make more money. And my experience with this goes back over the last year and a half when I transitioned from a traditional brick and mortar business. I already shared with you briefly, some of them worked, some of them didn't work, and I switched from that to an online business model. And the reason was being, I came across a person who was building a business online very strategically, making a ridiculous, ludicrous amount of money, like high multiple six-figure income, practically a seven-figure income. And because they were doing this, all right, without supplies, without equipment, without employees, their profit margins were so high and their workload and their overhead was so little. And I won't tell you that the internet's the only way to go when it comes to a business, but the cool part was they didn't have to deal with those things that would be associated with a restaurant business, especially if you're just looking at it because you want to make money and you want to do so where you can do what you want, when you want, wherever you want. Because this person who's building a business online, not only were they able to afford what they were passionate about, which was traveling, but they're able to enjoy it with their time freedom because they weren't, limited to a location where they had to get up at 9 to let employees in the door and then leave at 11 or 12 at night whenever closing was done, whenever dishwashers were done, all right, cleaning the dishes. So it's just something to keep in mind, all right. And what happened to me was I actually came in contact with this person and started to model and copy them with their permission. In less than 30 days later, not average, not typical results, anything I share in this video with numbers and people making money, not average or typical results, just like in a traditional restaurant business, people who are creating results, it's not average or typical because it's based on your self-production. And with their help and guidance, though, I was able to create a full-time income business working part-time in less than 30 days, and that's from scratch. And those, like I said, they're not average or typical. When you're looking at a traditional projection of getting a return on your investment, like with a restaurant business in this example, you're looking at 2 to 3 to possibly over even 10 years to wait to get a return on your investment, to recoup all the money that you put into it. So it's just to share with you what's possible when it comes to the internet. And I know you're looking for how to start a restaurant business with no experience. Like I said, I'd advise you, before you consider this approach, and even if you want to learn how to do it, comment down below and I'll point you in the right direction. But before you consider it, okay, seriously look into and learning how to leverage a business online. And if this does make sense to you and you want to learn how to do this, you can check out my site after this video. It's 123marketingtips.com. If you're coachable and you're trainable and you're seriously interested in learning this, I recommend you check it out. But aside from that, best tip I'll leave you with here, best thing you could do, all right, regardless of the approach you take, any opportunity you get into, best thing you can learn how to do is learn how to use systems online to attract an endless amount of people to you and whatever you have to offer in your business, all right? Whether that's an online business or an offline business, using systems online, it's the best thing you could do, because once people get businesses started and up and off the ground, the problem is they don't have anyone to share it with. They go to their friends and family, they run out of people to talk to, and if you don't have a list that's growing every single day with new people you can present your business to, chances of you making money that's stable and consistent is very slim. So if you want to learn the skills to building a business online and using systems online to build a business, check out my site, connect with me. I appreciate you for your time, and I'll see you on the beaches of the world. Take care.